Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hands Mah Jongg readings. This reading will be for my air signs of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for the upcoming. Last week's theme was kind of you were healing from childhood traumas. It's a very heavy emphasis on spirituality, spiritual healing, things of that nature. I feel like that was the message across the board though for a lot of people, just because we were dealing with the Gemini new moon, and it brought surprisingly a lot of spirituality. So what are the major things for my air signs for the week of June 10th, 2019, please? Okay. I just talked about that. Okay, this will be quick, air signs. Well, angel number 33. Look that up and see if that resonates with you. Now, 2 weeks ago, for the last reading in May, we had all those threes too. So I just feel like this is just saying like the ascended masters are around us. June is still a 3 universal month. I'm sorry, June is a 9 universal month. 2019 is a 3 universal year. So we're dealing a lot with creativity, a lot with joy, happiness, but also a heavy emphasis on spirituality. So again, look up angel number 33, see if that resonates with you. Look at that. 2 plus 1 is 3 too, and this is a 3. A lot of threes. So 3 bamboo toad. I just told you we're dealing with healing energy, ambition. But here I'm feeling like the toad is meaning doubt, right? So generally it's about healing and kind of delving into deep emotional waters. I feel like this reading carries on from last week's reading. I feel like a lot of air signs kind of had a rough week last week, to be honest, just because of all of the spirituality and spiritual stuff dealing with, while still dealing with the Gemini new moon, which is heavy on, it's more of left brain, right? Communication, things like that. So it's kind of tough for Geminis and just air signs in general. So this toad looks like he is experiencing some issues with doubt. So kind of wondering if he's going in the right direction, if he's going to be able to manifest the things that he wants to manifest. It's looking back, which could kind of still hint at the childhood issues, right? Looking back at things that have happened before him, things that may come back to haunt him, things that may be holding him back, right? While he's still dealing with all of these rough emotional waters and this kind of turbulent energy that's swirling around him. And then of course you have the moon. All this is tied into creativity, so there could be some doubt in relationships, there could be some doubt in some creative relationships, right? Partnerships, any type of relationship where creation happens. So that literally could be romance, right? If you have created a child with somebody, created a life. It could be business, right? You've created a business. It could be even just a hobby, right? You create art together. So there could be some doubt, some questioning those things. So it could be some issues with just kind of looking back and not looking forward, right? Seeing all of this swirling crazy chaos around you in this big full moon and kind of being nervous to go forward because of everything that's behind you. So then we have it was just 333 when I said that. Then we have this blank card, right? So that's just its own message. And then the third card we pulled is the 3-1 heaven, another 3 card. Again, 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is just about being grounded. Some of you could be dealing with some stuff with the earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This is about your environment, right? So he could be looking back at issues stemming from his environment. Again, that's, I'm sorry, carrying over from last week with childhood issues. But not just things from your childhood. It could be environmental issues that you're dealing with now, right? Kind of trying to clean that up, kind of trying to get it to a place where it's able to flourish and thrive, and you're able to thrive and stay grounded while you're at it. Okay, so let's clarify the toad, please. More bamboo. More bamboo. Okay, so with the toad, you got first the 7 bamboo tortoise. Deals with being impatient, right? Which makes sense. He's starting to doubt himself. He's dealing with all these swirling emotions and all of this chaos around him, and he's like, I don't know if this is right. You could be impatient with some creative endeavors. You could be impatient with relationships, right? But the good news about this card relative to the toad is that the toad is looking back although his head is facing forward, right? So it's like he is half stepping. His head is, if you don't, to the untrained eye, he's looking forward, right? But if you look closer, you see that his eye is actually facing backwards. So with the tortoise, in like direct opposition to that, or in contrast, you have the tortoise looking forward and his eye is facing forward as well, right? So there is hope. He has his head up. It's kind of low, but it's facing the right direction. It's up and it's facing forward while he's navigating these obstacles, right? So he hasn't given up. He is not looking down. He's not focused too much on the future, right? He's seeking guidance from above. 7 is a very mystical number about manifestation, spirituality, all of that. But at the same time, he's carefully navigating the obstacles. So again, just general impatience, general, just kind of angst with all the things that I talked about earlier. And then you got the 4 circles, jade. And so 1 plus 3 is 4 too. Wow, heavy emphasis. 3 and 4. 4 circles jade is about working hard, knowing your worth, getting to the crust of it, getting to the deep part, getting to the good part, getting to the goal, basically, right? But that takes work, right? That takes work. That takes stability. That takes a firm foundation. Number 4 is about stability and foundations. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn, right? Slow and steady win in the race. Look at that next to the tortoise, right? So the tortoise is going somewhere. He's impatient, but he's getting somewhere. He's getting to this jade, right? And that I feel like this is just a message of reassurance from the toad, right? Because this is how you're feeling, and then you got this blank card, and then it's like, okay, the tortoise, but this is what he's getting to. This hard work is adding up to something. It does mean something. And then you got the commence, right? So new beginnings are coming as a result of this. Now, if you notice the similarities between the tortoise and the commence card is that they both what? Are navigating obstacles, right? They're both standing on rocks. They both are navigating stuff. This one is, the tortoise is navigating it kind of impatiently, very, unhappy, kind of exhausted by it. But the commence is using those same obstacles as a stepping stone, literally, right, as a springboard, metaphorically, to get to where he wants to go, right? So he's saying, these obstacles, these are nothing. I ain't worried about it, right? Perfect. I'm glad these rocks are there, because now I can stand on them and use them to elevate me to the next level, to where I need to be, so that I can shoot my arrow. Bam. I like that. All right, and so let's clarify the earth card, please. Short reading this week, air signs. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? That's what the cards say. Okay, so in clarifying the earth card, you also got heaven. It's interesting to get heaven and earth together, because it can mean that when everything in heaven is right, everything is as above, so below. It can also mean, represent, right, a balance of the two, balancing spiritual energies that are swirling around you with being grounded, right? Staying in this existence, not getting too heavily focused on spirituality. I know that sounds crazy, to an extent to where you are forgetting the fact that we still are on earth. You still gotta stay grounded. You can't keep your head in the clouds type of situation like that. But yeah, this is a 9 though. 9 wine heaven. So with the heaven card, it's about completions. It's about endings. It's about not just endings, but new beginnings, right? That are birthed as a result of these divine completions and this perfection. So I feel like they're saying that things in your environment are coming to an end, are coming to a divine completion, but everything is in divine order. It's necessary, right? Perfection. So see the perfection in the imperfections, I feel like, in situations around you and in your environment, because ultimately there's divinity in it, right? There's a reason for it. Then look what we got. The East card, focusing on you, right? Focusing on, it's about self, but I feel like this is also about optimism and positivity in this situation too, because where does the sun rise? It rises in the east, right? So there's a new beginning. It's catty-cornered to this commence card, right? So new beginnings coming, a new you, stepping out of the shadows, focusing more on yourself, going inward, right, is next to the heaven card, but also having hope, knowing that the sun is still gonna rise, knowing that you're moving in the direction of where the sun rises, and knowing that there's hope within you. Last card of the spread, 8 bamboo mushrooms. something out of the ordinary, something that you don't expect, something kind of playful, something kind of fun. So I feel like this is you pulling something out of yourself that you don't expect. So that could be, since it's underneath this commence card with all these obstacles, a strength that you didn't know you had, um, a skill that you didn't know you had, a talent that you haven't developed that you didn't even realize, like, oh my goodness, I never knew I could sing, right? um, things like that, or something happening out of the blue that takes you off of the course that you're currently on, but in a good way, right? Because 8 is also the number of karma. And what do we have? Heaven, and then we have 8. So karmic completions, right? Particularly in relationships. So things just come in full circle. But at the same time, 8 is also the sign of what? Turn it this way, infinity. So things just, it's the circle of life, really. The circle of life. You end one cycle to begin another, and to keep rising every day, having hope, realizing that something out of the blue can always happen, right? Keep your eyes on the sky and realize that something unexpected can always happen. Expect the unexpected and it'll happen. And that's kind of what you want anyway, right? To keep you grounded and to keep you focused on the future, focus on the positives relative to instead of the things that are not going right. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 bamboo. Yeah. Heavy, so yeah, relationships. It's still a heavy emphasis on relationships. I don't see so much, so many circle suits, so it's not really about money. Again, I just think this is residual from last week. So it is what it is, air signs. We take it as the cards dish it out. Like, y'all know I don't be like, oh, this is all happy, and this is, if it is, it is. But I mean, that wasn't a bad reading. It's nothing to scare you. We ain't had no fire cards and nothing like that, no north even. But it's just, it is what it is. I gotta read the cards as they come. I can't just be like, oh yeah, I know this is what you want to hear. So, okay, so we are going to start with Libra. How does the general message relate to my Libras? Ooh, 2 bamboo duck. Okay, angel number 2. Look that up, Libra. See if that resonates with you. So it's ironic that this comes up with Libra, because this is like, 2 is like the Libra number, right? It's all about balance. It's all about partnerships. So as I said earlier, you're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on kind of clearing things out, moving things forward, remaining optimistic, remaining grounded, remaining positive, so that, okay, so, and we're focusing, like I said, on relationships. So for you, Libra, it's particularly, the message is particularly direct, right? So there's a situation that you are dealing with, a partnership of some sort that you may or may not be feeling, to be honest. But I feel like the cards are telling you to kind of stick with it. The cards are telling you, because look, the ducks, again, they're facing 2 different directions. They're technically on 2 different paths. If you are able to heal, or when you're able to heal the things that you're able to heal, then these ducks can face in the right direction. But the relationships that you're focusing on this week, though, are partnerships, Libra. So just be aware of that, and be aware of the energy that you bring to those partnerships, right? The healing energy that you bring, because that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. That's the name of the game, y'all. We healing. All right, so Aquarius, 6 bamboo water, angel number 6. Look that up, Aquarius. See if that resonates with you. It's about family, home, beauty, domesticity. So Aquarius, water sign. You got the water card again. The universe got jokes. And it's also another bamboo suit. So like I said, in general, we were talking about relationships. So your focus is on the home environment, right? Because we had the tortoise, and then we had the earth card, right? So your environment, healing a home environment, healing a domestic situation. This could have to do with, of course, travel, communication. But again, because this is coming on the heels of the tortoise card, right? We're talking about deep healing, deep emotional healing, cleansing emotional wounds within your relationships, particularly in domestics. So for Libra, it was kind of like it was kind of open-ended. But for you, Aquarius, I feel like you have some domestic issues, some domestic relationships that you are healing, that you're bringing more beauty to, that you are bringing more intention to, right? And expect a little bit of chaos, to be honest, because these waters are not, they're not still by any means. And even at the end, in the horizon, they're still not still. So expect that, but also realize that you are giving birth to something better, right? Look at the six, it looks like a big belly. You are healing these things and navigating these waters so that you can get beyond the horizon and things will be better. So, okay, and last but not least, Gemini. Bam. Six circle speech. You got another six card, folks. Everybody focusing on like a home situation and domestics and stuff. Okay, so angel number 15. Look that up, Gemini. See if that resonates with you. So you have the six circle speech. She's focusing on her money, right? Finally, a circle suit in this reading. She has her abundance. It's right before her eyes, but she's looking for something bigger. She's looking for something bigger. Of course, this could also to do particularly with a young girl. Maybe it's you. Maybe you are in a creative situation, or putting like working on a hobby or building something or creating something with a younger girl. This could have to do with romance or rival, all of that, right? For your fruit, not just for a romantic rival, but also a business rival, right? Somebody coming for your fruit, right? They're coming for your money. But she represents wealth and extravagance too. Now she has her eyes set on a bigger prize. So she is happy with the fruit that she has, but yet her gaze is not steady. She's looking beyond what she already has in her hand. So my thing is that it could go both ways. It could be a warning. Don't look too far off into the future that you neglect what you already have, right? The gifts that came up in the general reading that you already have, the abundance that you already have in your hand. But also that could mean to set your sights, always set your sights higher, right? So keep striving for the best, keep striving for better, the sweetness out of life, right? Because peaches are very effeminate. They represent divine feminine. They represent creativity, things like that. And we got all those threes, which also represent that in six. So make sure that you are in your divinity. You are in your divine femininity so that you can manifest more of the fruit. Oh yes. All right, y'all. Thank you for listening. Have a good week. Peace out.